Hi, everybody. This is Marilyn. Do we have any audio in here for today? Maybe we do. Hello, Houston. Okay, great. Thank you. Hello, everybody. This is Marilyn, and it's time for the noon edition of Welcome to My World. This is the 28th of July, and it is a Thursday. So, how's everybody doing this morning? We've had all kinds of posting and all kinds of stuff in this chat room. This has been a really active chat room today. So when I look at the general overview here, it looks like all these indices are playing pretty well together today. YM might have been a little stronger today, and that's probably a result of some of the earnings this morning. Speaking of earnings, be very, very careful this afternoon. If you like to trade into the close this afternoon, usually right after 4, and sometimes things get leaked a little early, but Google and Amazon, which are huge companies, big. So if you are trading those, you just want to be on the right side of the trade. And sometimes those things can happen very, very fast. So anyway, crude oil's had a very slow sell-off today, and it just keeps grinding lower. I took this thing down to the half deviation, and I still believe it'll go to the 0.7, but I guess I used up all my peeing this morning on that. The little patience I have, but I did sit through quite a bit of it. I think I got out 55 ticks. And gold has sold off a little bit. There's been a couple of nice trends if you were able to catch the first. Earlier this morning it went up for a nice trend, and then gold has put in some it put in the first of its red E's on the 10-tick C's. Have to see if that continues, but it looks like it might be inclined to go on down a little bit. We have the VIX is trading 1328 right now, and that's right. Kind of 13-ish is about where it tends to stay. We had a couple of nice trades on bonds this morning also. I really like bonds, but there were some at least easy 10-tick grabs on that. One was about 8:10 this morning, and another one was right here about 10:15 or so, and those did not require a lot of babysitting. So and somebody has been asking, we're trying to post these mini magnets in on some of these charts, or at least give you the numbers so you can post them on your own charts. And the significance of those is I like to think of number one, you have to understand how you spell magnet. You spell magnet M-O-N-E-Y. So if that's something that you have an interest in doing with your trading, is making some, you might want to pay attention to the magnet levels. But I like to think about those as areas where the bus driver has got some passengers. And bus drivers are like anybody else in business. They're going to go where the business is. And whoever is driving the bus for whatever market you're watching, they know where they got those passengers, and they know where those passengers can be let off. So those magnet levels are very significant. And I think about a year ago, I mentioned to you, Daryl never runs out of ideas. Trust me, there will never be a shortage of new stuff coming out with Apex. But I mentioned that we were about to get our crystal ball and our X-ray vision, and they had really gotten serious about building this thing. Well, this has taken a tremendous amount of work. One guy has been working on this full-time for a year, and it's up to the point where it can be tested now. So I don't know what we'd do without Lori, because she's kind of leading the charge to get this testing tuned up so we can establish some specifics and some rules for it. Right now it's just a bunch of numbers and colors jumping all over the place. So it's closer than it has been. And one thing I will say for Daryl, when you get an indicator, the accuracy of it is so incredible. There is, in my experience, there's a learning curve to it. So once we can nail down some rules and some real specifics on it, and there are still a couple, 3 bugs they've got to address and work out. That's where Lori gets her Raid spray or Orkin spray or whatever it is, and sprays the bugs till they finally give up and die. But this is going to help us all tremendously. And I have to just pass along what Daryl says, because nobody wants this stuff more than Lori and I, believe you me. And his classic thing is classic Daryl. It'll be ready when it's ready. And so I guess we all have to pee a lot for that too. Practice our patience. But it is very close. How very close is, I don't mean in a matter of a couple, 3 days, but hopefully within 2 or 3 or 4 weeks we can have this out. The other thing, a lot of people have not traded through the summer with us. We're in the last couple of days here of July, and I think August starts next week. August can be very slow and very grinding, and it can be very frustrating. So I just want to take an opportunity to mention to you that a huge amount, and I'm going to say a majority of professional traders will tell you that they make half of their money or more in the last 3 months of the year. So when the big boys come back from vacation, Labor Day is the marker beacon for that. It'll take a day or 2 or 3 for them to kind of get their feet under them and ready to roll again. But from after Labor Day into the end of the year, there will be an enormous amount of opportunity in these markets. And then that's going to be doubled because of the inability to predict the future by the U.S. presidential election in November. So keep all that in mind. Another marker that we all want to be aware of is September 30th, because the IMF is talking about how they're going to change their basket of currencies, and they're going to add either I don't quite understand the details of it because I haven't paid that much attention. All I know is it's going to make the currency markets move. They're going to add the Chinese yuan to that basket, and that'll be definitely a big deal, because if the Chinese are trying to get a toehold in that so that they have a little more power with their currency than the US dollar, which is the benchmark. So we've got a lot of stuff on our plates that is coming up. I would be taking this time to go back over any of the videos that you should have a list of things you really want to get solidified in your mind. August is a great time to tune your education up to the level and be able to practice while these markets are slow, because they will get much more volatile in the fall, right after Labor Day. One other thing, somebody asked me this morning in here if I would go over the ES, and I have this to say about that. If you're trading the Nadex, the ES can be a super good market. If you're trading futures with the ES, and I know there are tons and tons and tons and tons of traders who that's all they trade, and they do very well. They make a good living with it. The reason that Daryl is not a fan of it for trading futures, and I totally 100,000% agree with him, is if you want to prove this to yourself, make a time and sales on ES and just stick it in a little corner and watch the numbers. It doesn't take very long to figure out. Like in crude oil right now, we're trading a little bit below 300,000 contracts, and gold's trading about 152,000 contracts. The NQ is about 126,000 contracts. The ES trades well over 1 million. So yes, it's very, very liquid, and that's what people who like it say. There's tons of liquidity in it. Yes, there are. Watch that time and sales and set your block order up to about 50, and you will see that there are 50, 100, 123, 207 contracts coming through on one block order. These are huge, gigantic orders. They are, if you're trading 1 and 2 contracts, or I mean, I don't care if you're trading 5 in ES, doesn't matter. Those kind of orders will run over you. And there's too many other markets that make a little more sense to me. But the institutional trades in the ES are gigantic. And you're always so going to have, in my view, I think, and I have traded the ES, I think you're going to have more slippage in it, simply because you're at the end of the line with your little 1 contract or 2 contracts or whatever it is you trade. And there's no way you can compete or get to the front of the line to get in and out where you want to get in and out for the exact place without being run over. So yeah, Craig, thanks. Craig's got he just put a screenshot in here. There's the ES is trading just under 900,000 contracts right now. So compare that to, the NQ or the YM. And for the kind of trading we do in here, keep in mind what we're doing. This isn't, we're not the 900, 9 million. Yeah, thank you. sometimes I get really zeros, or I don't have a whole lot of zeros in my vocabulary. But anyway, you're gonna get more slippage. You are not going to be able to get in and out where and when you want to. That I can promise you. So the kind of trading we do at Apex is we are designed, and the whole point of this this trade room and our elite room chat and everything that all of us do is geared to the small retail trader, and that's who we are. So we're going to go where it makes more sense for us to go, and you cannot compete with these huge banks. And this is my view in straight up Forex pairs also. You've got to be real careful. You're going to get more slippage when you've got a bank that is putting in a bazillion, and I do mean a bazillion dollars worth of trades there, and you're putting in your little 1 or 2 contracts. You're going to get run over. So, and it may work. It may work, but it won't work in the long term. So let's see. And tomorrow morning is Friday, and tomorrow morning we are going to have some Canadian numbers, and we've got GDP numbers, and at 8:30 for the U.S. And then at 9:45